welcome to the business session for the Congregational Gathering. Just wanted to welcome everybody. Just a couple of housekeeping things. If you're a voting delegate, please go to the chat feature in Zoom, type in your name, and either if you are clergy or if you are a representative, which church you're representing. So that we have record of that for verifying the votes that will happen later. I'd like to take an opportunity to introduce our regional leadership at this time. I don't think Josh was going to be here today.
He is.
He's going to be here for the.
He's online.
Great. Josh Patty. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning.
The regional minister. Dick Williams is our associate regional minister. Thank you for taking with me. Then Liz Woodward is our partner regional minister. I'm not sure if Liz is on the call yet or not. We've got Lori Cross-Staten, our administrative coordinator for ministries. She's here. And then we've got Crystal Harvey, the reservations director, Tribe Bowden, the hospitality coordinator, and Greg Champion, facilities director. And then I would like to also take a moment to recognize our operations council members for 2019 and 20, who've done a wonderful job this year of participating in the meetings that we've had and all the work that the worshipful work that the operations council does. Brandon Burkhart from the Oakland area, Jack Burright from the Spencer, Sioux City, Iowa, and South Dakota area, Beth Campbell from the Marshalltown area, Owen Caton on the clergy side, John Clausen from the clergy side, Nancy Curry from the Minnesota, North Dakota area, Clay Dean from the Des Moines area, Jeff Frank from the Boone area, Don Ingram from clergy, Mark McWhorter from clergy, Dan Minnick from the Waterloo area, Zach Newbrough from the Creston, Osceola area, and Jeanette Perkins from the clergy, Sharon Pearl from the Muscatine, Davenport area, Doug Piper from the clergy, Peg Rosine Levinson from Keokuk area, Katie Russell Hainline, clergy, Lauren Strait from clergy, Linda Wolf from the Ottumwa area, and that's it. The Hampton area and Kenora area have had vacancies. So then moving on, we'll move on to the state of the region and the Christian Conference Center and the closures.
All right, thanks, Tim. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Okay. We had
We lost audio.
Yes, we did.
audio's down.
There you go. Now you're on.
All right. Anyway, I'm going to try to explain some of the things that the budget doesn't reflect when it comes to Conference Center. Most of you know that through the months of March, April, and May, we lost 100% of our user groups. We took a huge hit financially. Business started to pick up in June, July, and August, and into October, I would say we're probably over 50% of capacity of where we normally are this time of the month. We've done everything we could to cut expenses. We've had a shoestring budget since March. We had a total spending freeze for March, April, and May that was very effective. We're only doing emergency maintenance, or we're working on projects around the camp that we already had the designated funds for. So in some ways, that's been a blessing because we're able to catch up on some deferred maintenance that we just had never been able to get to. So that's kind of where we are with that. We have not furloughed any staff from the conference center. We did receive a PPP loan from the government, and so that has made up the difference of those lost groups. We keep a prediction document in our office that has every group that comes in to the conference center and their projected spending while they're with us, spending on food as well as their stay. So we've taken that for 2021 and done a very conservative estimate of where we think we'll be. What we did with that, we looked at kind of church attendance for churches that are open. It's about 50%, 40 to 50% are attending in person. So that's what we did with our groups. We figured that logic would hold. So what we did is take our income down by 50% for the first quarter of next year when we did our budgeting. I feel good about where we are. We have tried to be the very best stewards we could be during this time. We tried to take care of our staff as well as we could by not furloughing them. That's an absolute last resort for us. So I feel good about going into 2021. I feel the conference center is going to be okay. So hopefully I can dissuade your fears there. And I also have faith that our churches will take care of us just like they always have. We know how much you love your conference center. We have tried to get creative with some user groups. So we've invited ministers to come retreat with their families. Our McKee Retreat House that opened last year, almost every week this summer, it was used by a minister's family, most of them with kids. So most of them have been trapped in their home with their kids since March, and I can relate to that. And so we did this awesome unexpected ministry to ministers this summer that was really remarkable, and some of you took advantage of that. They were able to just come and play and be family without worrying about a pandemic for a week. We weren't able to have summer camp. That's about half of our income for the year, but it's also a considerable amount of our expense. Camp is expensive. I don't know if you knew that, but camp is expensive. And so that's where we were able to control a lot of our expenses going out. We ended up doing camp crates, camp in a box this summer. I thought we would sell 100. We sold 325 camp crates that went home to our campers so they could experience a little bit of what they might find on holy ground while they were stuck at home this summer. So we normally reach, just for your information, between 850 and 900 campers in a normal summer. Everybody remember normal? Wasn't that nice? This summer, based on those sales, because you have to add an adult to our grand camp and family camp sales, at least one adult, we think we reached 550 to 600 campers this summer. So I think that's pretty remarkable during a pandemic that we were able to do that. That's pretty much the update I have for the conference center. I also just wanted to say a pastoral word as one of your regional ministers about Christian unity. Some of you remember the old slogan that Christian unity is our polar star. I don't know how you're feeling, but I don't see much unity in our nation right now. And I just want to encourage you that our founders said that for a reason, and that is our unique witness to the world. And so I hope that you'll be bold this fall going into this divisive election cycle, that we need to proclaim our witness of unity to the world, because if we don't do it, I don't think anybody else will. So pastors, I hope you'll be bold about that. Lay people, I hope you'll support your pastors as they preach during unprecedented times. It seems like week after week, they have to address unprecedented matters. So I hope you're praying for your pastor. Pastor, I'm praying for you. And I know our whole regional staff is as well. But don't forget that if we don't witness to unity, I don't know who else is going to do it in the way that we can. And maybe even lay people, that means you're bold enough to put on Facebook, hey, do you miss a place in the world where left and right could talk to each other? I have a place like that. It's called my church. Would you like to come to Zoom Sunday school with me or whatever, or worship if we're meeting live? So don't forget that. Also, October is Clergy Appreciation Month. Our pastors need to feel appreciated during this confusing times we're living in. So please, please, please find a way to appreciate your pastor. They can come here for free. They may not know that. So they can come and retreat. If they're worn out here at the conference center, we'll find them a bed. We've got coffee and the door is almost always open. So they can come here, but don't forget to show your appreciation. I don't think I fully appreciated what our pastors have been doing until we got into the planning of the all congregational gathering, and we had to do it in a way we've never done before. We had to totally reinvent the wheel. Pastors, I was taking for granted what you have had to do since March, because it is hard. So please show appreciation for your pastors, and pastors, we recognize the hard work you're doing to keep your flock together. I think that's it. Are there questions about Conference Center or any of the things I talked about? If you have a question, if you could put it in the chat, and then I can answer it. You're welcome, Suzanne. Okay, I don't think we have any questions.
All right, well, let's move on then. Next up on the agenda then is the budget discussion. And so I'll hand the floor over to Clay.
We've got no sound on this one. Sorry.
No, let's go again. Here.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, I'll start over. My name's Clay Dean. I'm the regional treasurer. The budget that we're going to look through today should have been distributed with the link from the website here. As Tiff talked about, we had to make some adjustments this year to deal with he's picking up wrong.
Somebody suggested to put the mic closer to your mouth.
Is this better?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So my name's Clay Dean. I'm the regional treasurer. Sorry about the technical difficulties here. It's Tiff talked about earlier. We had to make some adjustments due to COVID and the impact on the conference center for that. We, as a region, reduced our spend to control those. We got the payment protection loan, as she talked about there, to help us be able to retain the employees during the time. So we've adjusted, as we normally do, the current working budget, so the 2020 working budget. You'll see that reflected there. We do still anticipate to end the year in a positive manner. And then we also took that into the 2021 budget. We know that, right, this is a fundamental change in how things are going forward. So we tried to reflect that. We reflected the reduction in DMF that we've traditionally seen year over year, so that we're more faithful stewards to the monies that we're receiving. And even with that, we're currently we've done a very, what I would call conservative budget, and we're predicting that 2021 will end in a positive manner as well. What I'd like to do is recommend this budget. So not only the modification to the 2020 working budget, but the 2021 anticipated budget for consideration by the CAP.
Okay. We have a motion from, is my microphone on? Okay. We have a motion from the budget committee to approve the modified 2020 budget and the 2021 budget. There will be a poll question popping up here in a few minutes where you can vote yay or nay. Are there any questions about the budget? If you do, please post them to the comments now in the chat. Well, that's interesting. Lori's drawing lines on the slide. Oh, that's funny. Okay. I'm not seeing any questions. Oh, is printed copy or emailed? Yes, actually you can look that up now. There's a link to it on the webpage for the assembly or for the gathering. So if you go out just to the website, you can pull that up if you're having trouble viewing the slide that's being shared now. Are there any other questions? Okay. Well, I'm not seeing any questions, Larry, so if we want to go ahead and go to the vote. Oh, there's arrows now. That's cool. Oh, webpage. Okay, so there's a webpage link there in the chat now too, if anybody needs that. Okay, so everybody should have the voting now for the budget. If you would, please go ahead and submit your vote.
If you're a voting member.
If you're a voting member, yes. Yeah, if you're not a voting member, don't vote. But yeah, yeah, you can abstain to make it go away from your screen. That is an option.
That's what I do.
Okay. Lori, are you able to see a tally of that? Is it overwhelmingly yes? Okay, all righty. The budget is approved. Thank you, everyone. We'll move on now to the next thing on the agenda, which is the announcement of the 2020-2021 Operations Council voting results.
And that voting took place ahead of time.
Yep, that was the vote. A couple days. And so they will be having, on the list, they are listed as undecided currently. And so there will be a runoff election here in the next month or so for those two areas. I'll just read down the list here. Clergy representatives for 2020-2021 are Mary Jane Button Harrison, Owen Caton, Doug Pfeiffer, Katie Russell Hainline, Dennis Sanders, Travis Stanley, Lauren Strait. And then on the lay representatives, Boone area, Vern Hawkins, Preston Osceola area, Zach Newbrow, Hampton area, Nancy Berneman, Keokuk area, Peg Rosine Levinson, Marshalltown area, Amber Elliott, Muscatine Davenport area, Jay Thomas, Ottumwa area, Betty Ray Potts, Kenora area, Jovi Maleo, and Waterloo area, Dan Minnick. The two areas that are having the runoff elections are Minnesota area and Des Moines area. And then Altoona area is vacant, as is Oakland area and Spencer Sioux City area. So if the Ops Council can fill that seat, those vacant seats later. So if you know of somebody and you're from that area or you want to volunteer, just please contact Lori and we'll get the Operations Council will kind of facilitate an election of some sort for your area. And they have to be lay people, not clergy, for the area seats. Yes. Okay. I think that's all that I had on the agenda. So.
Oh, Tim, we have a question.
Oh, we have a question. Okay.
More about the runoff in Minnesota.
Okay, we're up in Minnesota. So, I'm guessing Lori would send an email probably to.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, they'll oversee the process and figure out how to do it. Their first meeting.
They can't hear Lori, so we're gonna have to repeat
Oh,
it,
that's
Tim.
thank you. Okay. So the operations council will, at their first meeting coming up, figure out how to do that process. They'll reach out to the area churches to find out who their voting delegates are for the runoff election. And then it'll be, yeah. Well, the sound is still viable.
How about, can you guys hear me okay? Is mine better? Okay, should I repeat it again? Just to make sure everybody gets it? Okay. We've never done a runoff election before, so this is exciting. What we'll do is, the operations council will set up a procedure because we've never had to have that procedure before. So we'll figure out a procedure for future runoff elections. The two areas that have a runoff of Minnesota and Des Moines. So those two areas will get an email out to their clergy and their voting delegates. So each congregation in those areas can send 2 voting delegates other than their pastor. And so we'll get a list of those pastors in that area as well as those lay people that are serving as delegates, and we'll send them an email vote. Is that good? I think we got it. Sometimes it's
I think,
So,
I didn't see another question, but Tim, they're not hearing you very well. They're saying you're very garbled. So what Tim was saying is if there aren't any other questions, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn. While we're waiting on that, our worship service will be live streamed. You all should have the link for that. It'll start promptly at 10 o'clock. So make sure you're online for that, and please stay after the worship service for a Q&A with Josh so you can get to know him better.
okay, we have a move and a second. Now to adjourn. Thank you, Mary Jane and Margaret for the second. And we've got a couple. Margaret was the first one. So, alrighty, all in favor, just wave your hands. Alrighty, motion approved. Thank you, everybody, for attending the business session, and enjoy the worship service.
Can I say one thing?
Oh, absolutely, Tiff, go ahead.
Tim Butler has been serving on the Operations Council for 6 years, as has Clay Dean, I believe, at least 6, right, Clay? And they're both rotating off. They've both served as officers, and they've put in a lot of time and talent into our regional ministry. So if everybody could wave and clap and say thank you, that would be great. Sorry, I didn't tell Tim I was going to do that.
Okay. I think we're adjourned then. Thanks, everyone.